stage, a dream NBA Finals matchup rich with narrative symmetry. The meticulous system-based San Antonio Spurs, a dynasty reborn, face the explosive, athletic powerhouse defensive juggernaut of the Oklahoma City Thunder, a franchise with its own proud history and a burning desire to reclaim that throne. Past playoff battles in 2012, 2014, and 2016 saw the Spurs' wisdom often triumph over the Thunder's raw power. Now a new generation carries the torch, but the core philosophical clash remains. The quintessential, beautiful game orchestra of the San Antonio Spurs, built around a once-in-a-generation talent of Victor Wembanyama. They've seamlessly integrated his otherworldly skills into the most sophisticated system in basketball. Their offense is a perpetual motion machine of precision cuts, whips, smart passes, and ruthlessly efficient shot selection. Defensively, they're a nightmare, long-arm, communicative, and anchored by Wemby down there, destroying and manhandling the paint, not letting nobody eat in there. Oh, and getting out on the three and blocking shots, man. A one-man defensive ecosystem. Oklahoma City Thunder, on the other hand, are the embodiment of modern athletic dynamic ability, led by the offensive maestro, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're a blur in transition and relentless in attacking force in the half court. Supported by a cadre of versatile, lengthy wing and mobile, defensive-minded center, they pressure the ball, generate turnovers, and feast in the open floor. Their offense is built on rim pressure, kickouts, and the genius of SGA's mid-range mastery and ability to get calls, which some think is good and some think is bad. We'll get into that a little later. That might be another video on the way players score or foul bait. But back to it. The chess match, I see it as a 6-game series breakdown. So let's get to it. Game 1. Spurs win 112-105. The Thunder's athleticism creates early problems, and SGA probes at will. Chet Holmgren stretches Wembanyama away from the rim. However, the Spurs adjust. They wall off the paint, forcing OKC into contested jumpers. Offensively, the Spurs exploit the slight physical advantage of their veterans, with Jeremy Sochan and Devin Vassell attacking closeouts. Wemby hits a late three and blocks SGA on a floater to seal it. Statement made, the Thunder's best punch was absorbed and countered. A win for San Antonio at home. Game 2, also at home for San Antonio. Thunder win 118, Spurs 110. SGA responds with a masterpiece, drops 40+ on them on a hyper-efficient shooting night. OKC's role players, notably Jalen Williams and Lou Dort, knock down open threes generated by San Antonio's overhelping. The Spurs' ball movement stalls slightly as OKC's length disrupts passing lanes. Wembanyama has a 25-12-5 line, but it is -7. The series is tied. The narrative flips. Is OKC's talent overwhelming the system? On to Game 3 in OKC. The Spurs get the W, 103-98. The pivotal defensive clinic. The Spurs unveil their master plan for SGA. They deploy a shadow and wall strategy. All-NBA defender Devin Vassell guards SGA one-on-one, fighting over screens, using his length to contest without fouling. The critical wrinkle, when SGA beats his first man, he's met not by a rotating Wembanyama flying in, but by a static wall of 2 Spurs defenders standing vertical, arms straight up, cutting off his driving and passing lanes. They force him into an inefficient, contested long 2 and dare other players to beat him. OKC's offense becomes stagnant. Meanwhile, the Spurs surgically pick apart OKC's drop coverage with pick and pops for Wemby and corner 3 attacks for some of the role players out there. The Spurs regain home court. Game 4, taking it back to Oklahoma City. The Spurs 108. They barely slide out with that dub, with the Thunders getting 104 in overtime. A classic. Both teams trade haymakers. Holmgren shines, matching Wembanyama shot for shot with his unique inside-out game. The Thunder's bench provides a huge spark, winning the non-Wemby minutes. With seconds left, SGA isolates, spins, and hits a signature fadeaway to force OT. In overtime, the Spurs experience his shine. They execute flawlessly. 3 straight possessions result in open corner threes and a Wemby alley-oop and a veteran foul drawn on a closeout. The Thunders make one critical rotational error in OT and the Spurs punish it. A devastating soul-stealing road win. Spurs up 3-1. Game 5, taking it back to San Antonio. The Thunder pull out the W, 115-106. Facing elimination, the Thunder play with desperate and furious energy. They make the Spurs turn it over 18 times, converting them into 30 fast break points. Lou Dort harasses the Spurs' primary ball handler all night. SGA adapting to the wall, becomes a playmaker, dishing out 12 assists. The Spurs look weary and their shots are flat. The series heads back to OKC. Game 6, the Spurs get that dub 101-97. They win the NBA championship. A tense defensive slugfest. The Spurs return to their Game 3 defensive principles, but with even more discipline. They switch more actions, refusing to let OKC get any rhythm at all. The game is played in the mud, in the 90s pace-wise. With 4 minutes left, it's tied 91-91. The final sequence. At 3:15, SGA drives, he meets the wall, kicks to Chet Holmgren for 3. Clank. Wembanyama secures the rebound. 2:50, the Spurs run fist 45 for Wembanyama. He catches at the elbow, faces up, drives past Holmgren, and with 2 Thunder defenders flying at him, he whips a no-look pass to a cutting Vassell for an and-one layup. Spurs up 3. 1:45, SGA answers with a tough step-back 3 over Vassell. Tie game. 1:10, Spurs milk the clock. The ball finds Wembanyama at the top of the key. He takes 2 dribbles, rises over Holmgren from 28 feet, and sinks a 3-pointer. The oh my is heard around the world. Spurs up 3. At 40 seconds, OKC runs a Spain pick and roll. SGA turns the corner, but Wemby, in a legendary defensive play, stays attached to Holmgren on the pop, then recovers in 2 strides to meet SGA at the summit, blocking his layup attempt without fouling. Spurs ball. 20 seconds. After free throws, OKC has one last chance, down 3. SGA gets a clean look from the wing, but Vassell, disciplined at the end, contests perfectly. The shot rims out. The buzzer sounds. Pandemonium. San Antonio are champions once again. The decisive factor. Why Spurs defense is OKC's kryptonite. Let's get into it. The Thunder's offense is predicated on 2 things: SGA's unparalleled rim pressure and the spacing and secondary creation it enables. The Spurs are uniquely built to dismantle this. The Wemby factor. He's the ultimate defensive eraser, man, but his genius against OKC is his containment, not just weak side blocks. He can guard Holmgren on the perimeter, neutralizing the pick and pop action, while still being able to recover and protect the rim against SGA. No other team has a defender who could do both at an elite level like that. This allows the Spurs to stay home on shooters. The wall versus the maestro. Most teams that build a wall, like the 2021 Raptors against SGA, do so with traditional bigs. SGA can manipulate them. The Spurs wall is different. It's often formed by long, intelligent wings like Sochan, Johnson, who don't lead their feet. They're disciplined. They take away SGA's patented scoop shots and floaters, forcing him into lower percentage plays. The Spurs willingly give up the very shot SGA has mastered, the mid-range pull-up, but do so with a high hand contest from an elite perimeter defender. They turn his greatest strength into a marginal, less efficient proposition. Collective discipline and IQ. Let's get into it. The Spurs system is built on perfect rotations and communication. OKC thrives on defensive breakdowns and second side attacks. The Spurs rarely break. They treat every possession like a symphony, each defender knowing his note. This negates the chaos that OKC's athletes normally create and thrive on. And strength on strength, man, OKC's defense is also elite, but the Spurs offense is designed to be switching in length. Their constant motion, unselfishness, and the ultimate cheat code in Wemby at 7'4", a player who could shoot, dribble, handle, pass, and play defense, means there's no ideal defensive matchup. The Spurs force OKC defenders into an exhausting series of decisions, often leading to one fatal mistake per game. And how this affects each player's legacy, let's jump into it. A ring for the prodigy or a second ring for a rising king. Victor Wembanyama, he arrives not just as a statistical marvel, but as an unquestioned best player on the championship team. He's a force. He has elevated his game completely. His finals MVP performance, likely averaging 28, 13, and 5 with 3+ blocks, and maybe even 2 steals, silences any remaining doubters. He didn't just fit into the Spurs system, he elevated it to a new dimension. His legacy at such a young age is instantly cemented. SGA, he proves himself as one of the planet's premier players, averaging 32, 7, and 6 on a stellar, efficient series against an all-time defensive game plan. If he loses it, it's a crushing loss, but it burnishes his reputation. He was brilliant, but one man against the perfect machine. He still has all the time ahead of him for his career to continue on while he's in his prime. He's right in the thick of it, so his window's far from being closed. And gunning for that second ring is only going to make him hungrier after almost getting to the promised land and getting knocked off. He's going to want number 2 even more. The conclusion, this hypothetical series is a basketball purist's dream, the perfect clash of style, philosophy, and generation-defining talent. The Spurs in 6 grueling games prove that in the modern NBA, system, adaptability, and one transcendental defensive talent can still triumph over individual offensive brilliance and athletic fury. It's a victory for the culture Greg Popovich built, now inherited by a new era, a testament to the idea that the whole, when engined to perfection, can be greater than the sum of its awe-inspired parts. The torch is passed, but it's passed in the same way it always has been in San Antonio, through the relentless, beautiful pursuit of the game well played. You know what it is. It's your boy, Nicky P. What y'all think, man? Y'all want to see this series go down? Who y'all want to see in the finals, man? I definitely want to see this go down. And as you seen earlier, I got it going down to 6. So let me know what y'all think, how this series would go, who would get finals MVP, who would win, how many games, who's going to be a deer in the headlights, who's going to step up in the big moments when it's needed. All that good stuff, man. Once again, tap in. It's your boy, Nicky P. Eat, sleep, breathe, hoops. And until the next one, peace.